Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So for today's video, I came across this article, 15 NBA superstars that will change teams soon and 15 that will retire with their current NBA team. So I thought this would be a very interesting video to go through and see if I agree or disagree with some of these, if I think some of these guys will actually leave eventually and go elsewhere, and which team some of these NBA superstars would go to if they were to change or leave their current NBA team. So this is an article by Horford. I think his name's Joey. I think it's his last name. So yeah, we're gonna say Joey, guys. Joey out here. Yeah, man. We're gonna see if this man knows what he's talking about and give our thoughts and opinions. If you guys can do me a quick favor and drop a like on this video if you do enjoy this type of content, it is greatly appreciated. So let's go ahead and get started on this. The first one we have is will stay Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, man. So I don't know about this because Giannis, I feel like, belongs in a big market team. I do like him on the Bucks. I do like what he's became there. Just because I feel like it was the perfect team for him to go to in the sense that it was low pressure and he was able to develop over time into the player that he is now. Now, I will say though, man, if this Bucks team does not prove to be able to land big name free agents, or they don't make the right moves, or maybe they're even one of the bottom teams in the Eastern Conference, like a 7th or 8th seed this NBA season, I can see Giannis leaving that team eventually and going to a big market team. Now, personally, I would love to see him go to the New York Knicks just because that demi squad of him and Giannis out, or I'm sorry, him and also Kristaps Porzingis could be pretty deadly. Now, I do know that the Knicks did just draft Kevin Knox for a small forward, but Giannis can play power forward. Kristaps could play center, so I feel like that would be kind of pretty deadly to watch out there. But at the same time, if he stays with the Bucks for his entire career, I would definitely respect that. I just don't know if that's going to happen. It's gonna be very interesting once this man's a free agent and see how that all plays out when it's all said and done. Next up, we have will leave is Kyrie Irving. So we want to talk with the Knicks. This is actually the team that he is interested in playing for. I think it's going to come down to those two teams. I don't see him leaving the Boston Celtics to play for any other team besides the New York Knicks, unless some other team out there really offers him something nice. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure he is eligible for a Supermax contract after this NBA season. So personally speaking, I don't think he's going to leave that situation. Now, it does depend though, because if the team ends up trading away Terry Rozier, or if Terry Rozier signs with a different team, then it's yeah, you are all totally invested with Kyrie Irving. But at the same time, if you go to the next NBA season and just you don't do as well as you thought you would, and you feel like you can use that money elsewhere and sign Terry Rozier for a lot cheaper, then maybe you don't re-sign Kyrie Irving because that team does have so much young talent on it as is. My guess though is that he probably is going back to that team. It's just I don't see why you go one of the better young point guards in the NBA and Kyrie. Even if it's because you have Terry Rozier, just because Kyrie and him are on two different playing levels, and I love what he brings to the Boston Celtics, personally speaking. Next up, we have will leave Karl-Anthony Towns. So the rumor here is that he's actually mad at management. I'm pretty sure it was either the owner or the GM of this team went on the record to say that they would actually fire the entire coaching staff before they would get rid of Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, with that being said, though, I mean, that's all just talk, because when it comes down to it, man, it is a business. If Karl-Anthony Towns feels like he can have more success on a different team, that usually means more just brand deals and just, if you play with players that are going to help increase your stats, that's going to help your bottom line in the long run of things. I could just see him pulling a Kevin Garnett, like he did, KG did on the Timberwolves, and going to a big time team. Although that was via trade, not free agency. I believe it was Al Jefferson that was traded to the Timberwolves for Kevin Garnett many years ago, when he played for the Boston Celtics. But yeah, so Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't know, because I feel like he wants to play with players that he gets along with. Could I see him going to the Phoenix Suns and teaming up with Devin Booker eventually? I mean, sure, man. Why not? I feel like that would actually be a really nice fit. Although that team does have DeAndre Ayton. That could be a little demigod front court going on right there. But yeah, man, Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't know if I see him on the Timberwolves for the long term of things. Next up, we have will stay Klay Thompson. So I've heard mixed stories about Klay Thompson. I've heard that he wants to go, get that max contract on a different team. But other people said that he's going to actually take a pay cut. I just think about it like this. How many rings does he have already? 3 championship rings. So when does it become more about rings and less about your financial future, or vice versa? Just because this man has won so many rings as is. He's taken pay cuts in the past. It just feels like, at this point you have your rings. Now go out there and go get your money, because your NBA career is only lasts for so long. I mean, yes, he is still extremely young still, all things considered. But I just feel like if he has a chance to go out and get a max contract for somewhere, he should do that at this point. And he can still help other teams win a championship. He doesn't need to be on the Warriors to do that. He's already one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. All right, next up we have will leave Marc Gasol. I do think he's going to leave, but it's probably going to be via a trade. I think the Memphis Grizzlies are going to go full-on rebuild, which I don't understand because I think about this, man. They have Mike Conley. They have Marcus Gasol. They have Jaren Jackson Jr. now. They have, Dylan Brooks, who was a nice young small forward. They could re-sign Tyreek Evans, and they could still have, I'm sure they could do something financially, trade away Chandler Parsons and things like that to end up getting like a big name free agent. This team is really just like Paul George away from being a contender out in the Western Conference. But it seems like they are more so, going on doing a full-on rebuild, which is completely fine. And Marcus Gasol will probably be gone via trade. Next up, we have will stay Dwayne Wade. I think Dwayne Wade's going to play one more NBA season. He's gonna get his Kobe Bryant farewell tour out there, play probably a limited role on the Miami Heat's bench, try to mentor some of the young bloods out there, not like put up big crazy numbers. He'll have those Dwayne Wade-esque games every once in a while where he drops like 25 points, but will be few and far between. And man, he's got a championship. He's got multiple championships. I think Dwayne Wade retires after the season with the team that he started off with and won with, the Miami Heat. Next up, we have will leave is Devin Booker. So kind of like same thing as Karl Anthony Towns. If he feels like this Suns team is not really the way, or is not really going in the direction that he wants them to go, then Devin Booker is 21? I mean, this man's going to get a max contract at such a young age, and I could see him going to a different team. Maybe like, I feel like the Lakers would be a really good fit just because if they end up getting, even if they don't get LeBron James and Paul George, I do think they'll get Paul George, but even if they just got Paul George, man, can you imagine a team of Lonzo Ball, Devin Booker in the backcourt with, Paul George, Brandon Ingram? One of those guys would have to play the 4 spot, so that could be a little awkward out there, but damn, dude, I love the idea of him with Lonzo Ball in the backcourt. I feel like that could be absolutely fantastic, and those guys' style of play could complement each other for many years to come. All right, next up, we have will start Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, he accepted his player option, $27 million. I was actually talking about this on my Twitter account, at ChristyFlakes2K, by the way. And I was saying that I feel like the perfect trade, I know he has no trade clause, so we definitely would have saying this, but would be Carmelo Anthony to the Detroit Pistons for Blake Griffin. Because from a Pistons standpoint, you get 1 year of Melo. Even if you bought him out, it's like you get freed up all that money, that 5-year, like $132 million contract to Blake Griffin, and you can use that via free agency. You got Dwayne Casey now, so he can kind of help like build the team and his vision out there, and you would not be stuck as a team. Plus Melo for a season, I mean, that would be kind of fun to watch. Like, I would be all for that. I don't think they would win many games, but it would be something out there. And then the OKC Thunder, well, assuming you can re-sign Paul George, I mean, a team of Russell Westbrook, Diallo, their new shooting guard, or even Andre Roberson, Paul George with Blake Griffin, Steven Adams. Yeah, that's a good-looking team, man. That's a good-looking team out in the Western Conference. Next up, we have will leave DeAndre Jordan. I do think he's going to be gone this season. I don't really know what team is going to be too. I really don't know, man. Like, part of me's thinking the Wizards would be a good fit. The Bucks always sound like a good fit. I know he wants to play on the Houston Rockets, which does not really make much sense financially or just from a player personnel standpoint. But whatever team he goes to, I don't think he's back with the Clippers after the season. And some NBA team out there is going to get a guy that can get you about 10 points, 13 rebounds, and a few block shots a game. A lot of teams want that out there. Next up, we have will stay as Joel Embiid. He just feels like a Philly man. I think he's all about that trust the process, the big trademark of his. So, yeah, he's like, you can't take the process elsewhere. You got to trust the process on the 76ers. Him and Ben Simmons play nicely off each other. Dario Saric is a good player alongside him. And the team is just, it seems like they're invested in success. So I don't see any reason why he would go elsewhere. Next, we have will leave DeMarcus Cousins. I've talked a bit about this man a few times out there. I think there will be a team out there that does offer him a max contract, but it's not going to be the team he wants to go to because championship contending teams are not going to throw a ton of money at a guy that is greatly injury prone right now until he proves something out there. My best bet I say for him is to go back to the Pelicans for a season or two. Even if it's not on a max contract deal, prove yourself, play alongside Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, and see if you guys can make a run out there. All right, next we have will stay is Draymond Green. He's actually talking about wanting that super max contract, and while I know he wants to stay on the Warriors, I don't know if the Warriors would give him that type of money because you're already paying the Supermax. You're going to be paying that to Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and then you got to decide between Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. I feel like Draymond Green, everything he does, you look at the stats, is more valuable to the Warriors than what Klay Thompson is. I know Klay Thompson is more of the flashy player out there, and people will say, no, Chris, we got that all wrong. But you look at what this man's stats does and just what he does from a win share standpoint, I don't know. That would be a tough choice to be had. There's a lot of jump shooters in the NBA. I'm not saying Klay Thompson is just a jump shooter, but there's not a lot of guys that do exactly what Draymond Green can do. All right, next we have Will Leave, Kemba Walker. I'm going to say, if the Charlotte Hornets do not trade this man away for at least a protected first-round draft pick or something, they're absolutely idiots out there, because this man is going to leave in free agency. Plain and simple. So either you trade him, get something right now, or he leaves. As far as teams he can go to, I mean, I like him going to the Pistons. I don't know, I'm sure there's some other really good fits out there that I'm not thinking. I'm just being biased, kind of a Pistons fan. But yeah, there's a lot of teams that could use Kemba Walker's services. There's talks about him going to Cleveland, and he might be like the saving grace for LeBron James coming back to that team. I don't think Kemba Walker gets that done, but it's a good start. Next, we have Will Stay, Kyle Lowry. I don't know. I feel like the Toronto Raptors are going to take this team in a different direction. I feel like I would probably keep DeMar DeRozan before Kyle Lowry, who is like past the age of 30, still has like 2 years left on his contract. He's a point guard that would help a team that's in need of a point guard right now. I can't think what that team would be. What about the Magic? Like, could you see Kyle Lowry being a nice veteran presence out there with him and Bamba, Aaron Gordon? That's an okay fit. I don't think he's going to stay on the Raptors, though. Next, we have Will Leave, Kevin Love. If LeBron James goes back to the Cleveland Cavaliers, you need to trade away Kevin Love. You need to trade away. Kevin Love, LeBron James not going to win a championship. It's proven. The only way the Cleveland Cavaliers won that championship was because of Kyrie Irving being on that team. But just LeBron and Kevin Love by themselves, that's just not going to get done these days. You could get something pretty solid for him. I feel like you could at least get like a CJ McCollum from the, from the Toronto Raptors. You can get some sort of decent option out there, but just, it's time to just like cut that cord. It's over with. Kevin Love and LeBron James not getting it done anymore. Will Stay, Tony Parker. Yeah, man, you better, man. I know you got that insurance policy, that pension on them San Antonio Spurs team. You are one hard foul away from turning into pure dust. You're like a third string point guard now. So I don't know why he's even in this. This is superstars that will change teams soon. Tony Parker, not a superstar. He's washed up. He's done for. Next, we have Will Leave, John Wall. I don't know. Like, the only way this is happening is if it's via trade, because I do think he signed an extension. He's still got like 3 more years left on his contract, something like that. I know it's not like next NBA season, the free agent. If I'm wrong at that, my apologies. But it's going to come down to the Washington Wizards management deciding would they rather build around John Wall or Bradley Beal. Both guys are great guards, but for different reasons. Do you want the athletic guy that can slash to the basket in John Wall, get players involved, or do you want the jump shooting man in Bradley Beal? If I had to choose between the two, I'm not going to lie, guys. I think I would take Bradley Beal. Like, Bradley Beal just seems like a better fit for this current era of NBA than John Wall would, but I still feel like John Wall could get you a nice haul via a trade. Probably a few first-round draft picks, actually. Next, we have Will Stay, Al Horford. Yep, perfect big man for the Boston Celtics. Great defensively. Rebound needs work. I mean, it's just how he is now. He's not going to be like a better rebounder. He is who he is at the age of like 32 now, 33. Jump shot's nice. I said his defense was great. No real reason for him to leave a team that he's found some nice success on. Will leave Paul George, going to the Lakers. If he does stay, it's, I don't think he's staying now that Melo is back, except in that player option. I just don't see that happening. He's going to the Lakers. Plain simple, man. Not much more to say about that. Will Stay, Dirk Nowitzki. Yes, he's going to play one more season. Probably, probably go out there and mentor Luka Doncic a bit. I imagine he'll probably be back in some sort of like player development role once he does retire. He's a baller, man. Dirk Nowitzki's a baller. I see him sticking around the game of basketball until, I don't know, man, the day, he's 60 or 70 years old. I don't want to say until the day he dies, because that sounds dark and everything. You know what I'm saying, man? Dirk Nowitzki is a baller for life. Next, we have Will Leave, LeBron James. I'm actually leaning towards more like 50-50 on this, because there's actually rumors out right there right now saying that LeBron James is trying to recruit superstars to come to his team. If he's able to get Kemba Walker, somehow get Paul George, somehow get Kawhi Leonard, you got Colin Sexton out there. LeBron James is the management for the Cleveland Cavaliers. If he wants to stay on Cleveland and get superstars, he's going to get it done, because teams, superstars are going to want to play with LeBron James. If he does leave, I still think it's going to be for the Lakers or 76ers. Next up, we have Will Stay, James Harden. Yeah, man, he's MVP caliber player. I don't know if MVP's actually been announced yet to making this video, but yeah, it's got to be James Harden, right? I think based off regular season alone, no reason he would leave that team. Will leave Damian Lillard. Yes, I want him to go to Cleveland. I want him to play with LeBron James. I would actually trade Colin Sexton and maybe even Kevin Love together. Ooh, that might be a lot, though, for Damian Lillard. I don't know. Would that get it done? Or is that too much? How about this trade? Damian Lillard and Nurkic for Kevin Love and Colin Sexton. Then you got your team of Damian Lillard at point guard, LeBron James small forward, Nurkic, a 23-year-old young center at starting center. Probably get some floor spacers out there, and that team's nice. It's a nice team. Next up, we got Will Stay, Kristaps Porzingis. I think he's committed to this franchise. I know he had some issues with Phil Jackson in the past, and there was actually trade rumors going down with him, but I don't see him leaving the Big Apple. I think he's there for the long term of things. Next, we have Anthony Davis leaving. No, didn't he just sign a Supermax contract, guys? I think he's around for like 4 or 5 seasons, and I don't think the Pelicans are going to trade him away. You just don't trade away a player like Anthony Davis. You just don't. You will not get returning value on it. Will Stay, Chris Paul. Yep, him and James Harden were great in the backcourt together. Championship contending team. You know, he went down with injury, which does suck, and he's not going to become like less injury prone, so that is kind of a risk you have with re-signing Chris Paul, but I do think he will be back with the team out there. Will leave Kawhi Leonard. You know, him and Greg Popovich were talking about things. Of course, I don't know what that conversation was. It was probably pretty private out there, which is like a nice negotiation tactic that Greg Popovich does have. He has the ability to talk with this man right now. Do I think he's back on the Spurs team? I personally don't think he will be. As far as the team that he gets traded to, there's been so many rumors out there, and you can make any case about him being a perfect fit for any NBA team out there. The team I want him to go to, though, it's going to be an Eastern Conference team. I think it's going to be Eastern Conference. I want him to go to the Knicks or the 76ers or a team with LeBron James. One of those 3. Next, we have Will Stay, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook just kind of reeks with loyalty, which is a good thing. And he's got a big extension with that team for like the next 4 or 5 seasons. And I think the team is willing to build around him. After this season, there's going to be a lot of money. Oh, shit. Oh, we moving up real quick. All right, bitch-ass Durant saying Will Stay. That freaking 0% loyalty out there. But yeah, man, Russell Westbrook, I think he's going to stay on the team. Whoa. Will leave Kevin Durant? Hell no, man. This dude joined. I can't start on it, guys. He's not leaving. He's sticking around with Stephen Curry, man. This is his boy out there. He's already said that he wants to like retire at 35. He's not, like, after all the backlash, he's not going to back out and take on the challenge of leading a team by himself. Plain and simply, he's not going to. He's going to stay with Golden State. And finally, we have Will Stay, Stephen Curry. Yeah, he's a Warrior for life. I mean, he's like, when I think Golden State Warrior basketball, I think it's Stephen Curry. That's the poster child right there. He's had great success there. He can sign the Supermax contract. I would like to see him try to lead a team by himself. I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah. I can't say that, because he did lead them back in 2016. I should say that. Right, it was 2016, right? Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel. This is a lot of fun to make. If you want to read the entire article, link to it in the description below. Peace out, my friends.